bike is fucking bonkers. Hi and welcome! I finally get the chance to ride the S1000RR, the brand new 2023 model. So I'm in beautiful Saucy Forest, it's Friday, and I'm really happy to be riding this bike and sharing my first initial thoughts with you. We've got the beautiful M Sport model with the carbon wheels and the big aero wings. It's quite an improved model from the previous one. We've got a few great horsepower. I've only been riding it for a few hours, but I've got to say it's quite impressive in the way that it's got the usable power compared to the Kawasaki ZX-10R and as well as the Yamaha R1. It's got a lot of low down grunt compared to these two bikes, and I think this makes it very usable bike around town. So if you're thinking of buying yourself a super bike, but you're being put off by the fact that they don't have a lot of torque down low, then I think you can potentially look at the BMW. So far this bike feels absolutely amazing. I've got to say, the Akrapovic exhaust sounds absolutely incredible, and you can buy that as standard with BMW. These bikes retail at around 19 to 20,000 pounds, but you're getting a lot of bike for the money because it's a lot cheaper than the Ducati Panigale. I think it's cheaper than the R1M as well, which makes this bike actually a pretty decent choice. It's a bit more expensive than the Kawasaki ZX-10R. Also cheaper than the Aprilia RSV, so I think this puts the bike in a very affordable price range. So as I said, we've got the beautiful winglets, which make you feel like a MotoGP rider. Obviously you feel a bit silly around town, but it is what it is. If you want the M Sport, and I think the other models as well, they come with the winglets. Then you've got the beautiful M brakes that come as standard as well, and the very nice carbon wheels, which make the bike lighter. I'm not sure about how much, but they do make it a bit lighter, and they improve handling as well. Then at the rear we've got rear sets as standard, which are machined absolutely beautifully. They look proper race bikey. And then we've got the very nice Akrapovic exhaust, which somehow it meets the Euro regulations, so they can actually sell the bike with this exhaust by standard. Center shock, nothing too fancy. It does the job beautifully, but BMW usually doesn't fit any fancy stuff in it because race teams will change them as they like to suit their riders. And then you can also get the pillion pack. We've got, we don't have the pillion seat, but we do have the pegs. And this bike doesn't have a tail tidy. I'm being told that if you want one, you can get it.
This is just a first impressions video because I've got to say it's one of the bikes I was the most interested in riding, and I finally have the chance to be on one. The only problem is I tried setting the maps so I can actually take it to a nice place to get some cool shots for you guys, but you need to download the BMW app, and then you need to download the maps, and it was just taking a whole lot of time, especially on data. So I'm just following my wife. She's got a sat nav in the car, so I'm just using that at the moment, and it's really annoying because I wish I could jump all these queues. I've not been out the first gear yet on this bike. There we go. Lovely sound. That quick shifter is quick. I mean, it's blistering fast. You can't even feel like it's shifting. It's crazy. Wow, this is such a smooth gearbox. Hello BMW S1000RR. Speed camera, behave. It feels very light. Like in the corners, we just had that right-hander, and honestly, it's taken the corners on its own. It's pretty mental. The exhaust is quite silent at the lights, but once you go over 4,000, 5,000 revs, you can actually hear it, and it makes a lovely, lovely sound. So far so good. We've been riding around town, and this bike is not hot at all. It didn't get hot so far, so that's a big positive. The engine brake, I can feel that. I don't know if it's got some special setting for the engine brake, but I actually felt that really well. Very interesting so far. It's a bike like no other. A bit similar to the R1 in terms of handling and weight, but it's got a lot more low down grunt than the R1 had, and loads more than the ZX10R. It's got very usable power from low RPM, which I find pretty cool. And I know that this bike, I've not ridden the previous S1000RR, but I know that this one's got a few extra ponies and small updates really. It's got the front wings, which by the way make me feel a bit silly riding around town, but they probably do quite a lot on track in terms of really keeping the front wheel down and aerodynamics overall. So suspension is a bit stiff, typical sports bike. Brakes are unbelievable. Obviously you don't get to, I mean, you're pushing these bikes on the public roads, you're probably using 5% of what they can do in terms of acceleration, braking, suspension, electronics, everything. I mean, this thing's got like slide control and that kind of stuff. Who is good enough to use those sort of features? In my opinion, probably that someone that does professional racing or club racing or does some form of advanced riding, because someone like me just doesn't have the skills to do it, and I'm not like afraid to accept that. You know, it is what it is. I'm happy to ride it within my own limits and not even curious about drifting the bike or slide control and that kind of stuff, because I can watch MotoGP to see how that works, or I can watch Top Rack. It literally feels like this bike is automatic. Upshift, downshift, buttery smooth. You don't feel anything. It's like a dual clutch F1 car, except it doesn't have a dual clutch. It's a single clutch. But when it's cutting the power, you don't even feel it. It's quite incredible what 10 years of BMW riding developments have done to this bike. I had the chance to ride the first gen a long time ago, and I know that was quick, that was like mind blowing, but this is and I'm stuck behind my wife's car because I don't know the fucking route, so there you go. What's going on here? I just love the sound of this bike, man. It's so nice. We are at Salsey Forest. Officially.
So guys, if you like this video, don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Let me know your thoughts. What do you think about the bike? Until next time, take care, and I'll see you in the next episode.